He is having a fantastic event. He is into the semifinals, his best result to date of 2007. And right here, he was up against Poncho Sullivan, who is in the top 10 right now, and no doubt a ninth place finish will go a long way towards keeping him inside that top 10.
Yeah, Poncho was a little unlucky with the size waves today. I mean, he's been the form surfer. I mean, second last week, and then he had a couple of good heats, but this is the wave that made the difference in this heat. Look at this turn here, John. Zant. This was like a 9.1 or something like that, or an 8.5. It was a huge score. And, I mean, have a look at the size wave that Greg's surfing here, and that's pretty much the biggest wave of the day for sure.
Yeah, that was the difference. You were 100% right there, Jake. Poncho trying his best, the big Hawaiian. And, you know, even though he's sitting at 90 kilos, he is still very light on his feet. Then we had Raoni Montero and Michelle Perez, and Raoni really just took it to Michelle straight away, and Michelle just couldn't come back.
No, I mean, Raoni's been really ripping, hasn't he? I mean, nice little barrel there. As you can see, the conditions this morning were way contestable, and today's the tide's pushed up and made it really hard to surf right now, so they've cooled it off. And another nice little barrel here.
Yeah, he was getting some pretty good tube rides there, Raoni.
And doing some big airs. Look at this. And that was a huge score. That was a 9.5 or something, so he was on fire in this heat.
Yeah, surfing with a lot of confidence, the Brazilian, and that's very important going into the back end of the season because he knows he needs a few good results to requalify. Look at that beautiful little tube ride at La Gravière for the Brazilian, and he moved on into the next round. Now Mick Fanning, who was up against Ricky Bassnett, White Lightning strikes again.
Yeah, look how sharp he's looking. He's been putting some impeccable performances in. I mean, this heat and then his next heat with Neko was just absolutely amazing. The other guy just didn't know what hit him. The White Lightning blew him apart.
Yes, and hello to Colin Fitch. Okay, here we go. Mick Fanning, just, you know, his equipment, his body, his physique, his mindset, all in the right place here in the southwest of France. Ricky Bassinet tried his heart out, and, well, definitely a confidence booster for the young South African.
Yeah, that's a good result for him, and he's had all 7 heats all year, so this is his best result all year, and it's going to boost his ratings for sure.
Yeah, the two Brazilians.
And this is where Neko absolutely dominated.
The sleeper, I was calling him.
The sleeping giant.
Yeah, and he loves this place. He's out here. He loves pulling into the barrel. Look at him. Very comfortable. Nice tube ride from Neko. Big sweeping cut back. He loves these beach break conditions, especially when they got a little bit of a punch like La Gravière. So he went on to the next round. Rodrigo Danelis, Luke Munro. Now Rodrigo, also for the Brazilians, has really been on fire. I
mean, these waves are pretty similar to the waves they have in Brazil. Probably not as hollow, but I mean, they're beach breaks everywhere where these guys live, so they feel right at home. And as you can tell by the way they rip, Luke Munro didn't have such a good heat at all. And that was probably his best wave right there, and the judges didn't really like it, scored it pretty low. And Rodrigo just on the open faces, little ones. This is where the swell started to die a little bit, as you can tell, John, like from early as Poncho and Greg Emsley on like overhead high waves, and the waves these guys are taking are just surfable kind of. So.
Well, yeah, Rodrigo, his best result to date, and Troy Brooks has been on a giant killing spree and continued on against Dayon Neve, coming off the back of a 5th place finish, Jake, in California. His confidence is at an ultimate high.
Yeah, it'll be a great semi-final tomorrow. Troy had a great ninth round, trying to fit into that little barrel, and just pops out the front.
Little? I would have been standing on that thing. Are you kidding me? And again, just really in sync and in rhythm with the ocean here at La Gravière. And I think
two very nice turns there, John. And he's got a big score for that. And Dayon couldn't really get into this heat at all. And this is the last heat of the 9th round, and then we'll go straight into the quarterfinal highlights.
And there's a live shot of the beach here in the afternoon hours at the Quiksilver Pro France. Oh, it's on us. Hello, we're back on screen. Okay, that was round number 4. We completed round number 4, and then we went straight into the quarterfinals. Let's take a look at quarterfinals action here in the south of France.
Taj and Parker.
What a heat this was.
Yeah, I mean, the fireworks. I mean, these guys had huge scores in this heat. Taj was so disappointed his title race. You know,
still in the balance?
It's a big bump, you know. Big bump in the highway. And Mick Fanning, obviously, in the semi-finals, which is, you know, extending his lead. And this man is on fire at the moment. Look at the precision of his surfing, John.
You know, absolutely on song. This is champagne surfing here in the southwest of France. And this is how he won it last year. Tube rides, finding the right waves, doing the right maneuvers. Look at the crowd, loving it. Big fist in the air, a little air reverse, and whang! And a little lip snap.
Wicked. Yeah. There's another angle of the same wave. The atmosphere down on the beach, John, was absolutely amazing. I mean, these guys are surfing. You can see the crowd in the foreground there. Like, they're only about 20 metres away, and they were clapping and cheering. So all those guys out in the water would fully be able to hear what was going on. And Taj pouring on an aerial display for these guys as well.
And he just couldn't find another maneuver or wave that allowed him.
Look how sharp Taj was looking too. I mean, it was pretty unlucky these guys met in the same quarterfinals, because it could have been a final in any other contest.
Joel is just, for his size, how he gets down so low and how precise he is in these waves is just absolutely amazing. Joel Parkinson into the semifinals. Right here, Greg Emsley from South Africa against Ronnie Montero, who has been having a great event thus far. But he came up against the Bigfoot in quarterfinal number 2.
Bigfoot, here's Ronnie slipping into a little barrel. And just didn't quite come out clean enough. You've got to come clean out of those barrels. The judges will score you way higher. And this is Greg's little runner down the beach. This thing just kept on running the whole way. Look, and a little aerial from Greggy, Bigfoot. And there's another little barrel. Well, Greggy got the nod from the judges in this one. Rioni didn't quite find the second scorer.
Oh, nice big air.
Big air reverse.
Yes, this is going to be his best result. But Greg Emsley just putting on a brilliant display of surfing. Nice carving turns on his forehand. He thought he was in East London on one of those point breaks. He's very, very in form. There you go. The crowd loving it. And quarterfinal number 3, Mick Fanning. He just did not leave anything.
Well, this is a good start for Neko. He thought he was ripping with that first wave, and he turns around and sees white lining on a wave that was just scored a huge score.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit overscored, maybe. A little punt.
Well,
Mick got 9-5 or something.
It reminded me of a final Sonny and I had at Bell's where I thought I was killing it, and then Sonny turns around and gets a 10 on his first wave. But Mick Fanning, he doesn't want to leave anything to question. He just wants to obliterate every opponent, and so far he has.
He's taken the luck factor right out of it. He is ripping every little thing. You can see the focus. He's got his coach here. He's got his trainer, Griggsy. He's got, he's leaving nothing to chance, and that's what I advise to all the grommets out there. Leave nothing to chance.
And Nico, the ultimate competitor as well. He gave it his all, but he had a big clap at the end for Mick because he knew that it was a deserving win.
That was a big turn, John.
White lightning strikes twice right there. And then the final quarterfinal, Troy Brooks and Rodrigo Dornelis in some very trying conditions.
Yeah, the tide was getting high. Troy just throwing everything at this little wave. That was a nice big thin slide and finishes it off. Oh.
All right, and there you see Rodrigo trying his heart out to make it into the semifinals, but it will be Troy Brooks up against Mick Fanning. So 3 Australians, 1 South African.